Hi everyone and welcome back. And today I'm going to do a video on making Eastern White Cedar trees. In the market out there are tons of pine trees. Pine trees are everywhere. But in Eastern Ontario and Western Quebec here, we have these Eastern White Cedars and nobody makes them. So I decided to figure out a way to make them myself. And I came up with a way to do it, and I'll show you how I do it, and hopefully it'll help you if you want to make some of your own. Alright, the basis of this is a little jig that I made up. I just used a piece of 1x4, and this bottom piece I made it 20 inches long. The side pieces are 8 inches high. On this end I've got a 1/4 inch eye bolt, and I've got it nutted on the front. And I have it double nutted on the back so that it doesn't turn. And on the front one, I have a 6-inch eye bolt. And what makes this work is I have a great big washer here, plus my 1/4 inch washer that allows it to spin freely. And then I use 3/4 inch manila rope. And I buy that at Home Depot. It's a little under $2 for it. And I also use this 18 gauge mechanics wire, and then to cut the wire I just have myself a little pair of side snips here. And then to cut the rope I use these pipe cutters. They work really handy for doing that. They cut right through it. And then you just need yourself a old comb and an old pair of scissors and a 7/16 wrench, and you go to town. One thing you do have to do is you have to put this gusset in. If you don't put this gusset in, when you start twisting, it'll just pull the dadburn thing right apart. So, alright, I'll show you how I do it. Alright, the first thing I do is I measure out a piece of wire that'll fit between here, and I feed it through. And at this end, make sure you make it at least a couple inches longer than what you need, or you have a heck of a job trying to get it tied. And if you don't get it tied good, then the doggone thing will just pull apart on you while you're trying to twist it. But you get it on there like that, and then you take and you twist this in until you get it fairly snug. You want the rope strands to hang in there, and that should do her right there. So, anyways, I take these this rope strand. I cut them about 3 inches long, and then you just separate them like so, and you untwist them a little bit. And then you use the old comb to separate them. Like so. And then you start at this end, because this end tends to stay looser for me, so I slide her on down. And branches on cedar trees are really close together, so you just go ahead and feed it in like so. And the nice thing about doing this is I can make 2 tall trees here, or I can make 3 shorter trees, and it works out quite well for me. And da 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 da. There we go. That's a pretty tall tree there. That one will be about 7 inches tall. Then we go ahead and get another one done up. Oops, don't want to do that. I want to stay about here. This is where I just leave a little space here to separate my two trees. There we go. Yeah, this manila rope I find for the cedar trees works really well. It's pretty coarse and it holds the ground foam quite well. So. There we are. There's one really tall tree and one shorter tree. And all you do is you twist it. Now if you want to get really fancy, you could probably put a drill on here with a 7/16 socket and do it that way. But I tend to like doing it with a wrench. That way I'm not going to twist it too tight and have the wire break on me. Anyways, once you get her wrapped around there, that's pretty tight. Give her a couple more spins here. There we go. Okay. Now, just loosen her off. Snip it right at the top of this tree. And we'll snip it at the top of that tree. And we will leave a little base on this one. There we go. Now, all you have to do is cedar trees out in the open are kind of cone shaped. Now in the bush, they grow so close together that there's hardly any branches down the lower section. But when they're out in the open, they tend to be very bushy and kind of cone shaped. So that's what you're aiming for. Just try to get all your little stringies off. And there we are. That's a very tall cedar tree right there. So anyways, I'll just stick that one in the block. It should be ready to paint here in a minute. And we take these. And what I usually do when I'm doing this is I go ahead and twist up a whole bunch, and then I just go ahead and start doing all the foaming on them. Alright, let's go ahead and nip the top off this a little bit. That'll stick up a little bit. There we go. And there's a nice short little tree. So we'll put that one in here. There. I just made up this little block so I just drill a hole the same size as the trunks and I just stick it in there. I can't remember exactly what size it is now. It's a fairly small drill bit, but that's beside the point. Now, for this next step, it works really good if you put on a plastic glove here. They're pretty cheap, so it's well worthwhile doing. So let's go ahead and start with a tall one. The first thing I do is I use some spray paint. This just happens to be dark walnut, but you can use a black or a dark gray. It really doesn't matter. Because in the end, you don't see a whole lot of the branches on these. I spray it down good and heavy and good and wet. And I just roll it, and this is medium coarse turf, medium green coarse turf from Woodland Scenics. And I just roll it in it, and I shake it off, and there we are. There we got a pretty full tree. You could do a spray and do some more if you wanted to, but I think that's pretty good. Then my next step is I like using this Aleene's tacky spray. It dries. It doesn't leave a shine on the tree. So just give it a good little spray. And then this is olive green fine turf here. I just put just a little sprinkle on it. This kind of represents all the new buds that you see growing on the tree. Now if you're doing a winter scene, the ends of the cedar trees tend to get a little brown, so you might want to find the brown for that. So there we have it. There is a Eastern White Cedar tree. Now typically out in nature, if you have a cedar tree growing out in the open, the branches tend to be right down close to the ground, like there and up here. The branches are right down close to the ground. There you can see a little bit of the branch structure. Kind of add a little character to it. But if you've got livestock, then you'll have a little gap underneath the tree where the livestock nibbles at it. And that would be cows, goats, sheep, whatever. They tend to nibble off the bottoms of the trees. When you're driving by a field, you see all the trees are kind of flat and square on the bottom, and that's because the livestock eats it. But anyhow, there you go. There's your Eastern White Cedar tree, and I hope you find this video helpful. If you did, just like it and share it, and we'll see if we can help someone else with this. So thank you so much for watching, and good day, and have a good one. Bye.